Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to explore something very interesting, seagrasses. What are the seagrasses? Seagrass is a bit more than just grass that lives in the sea. Seagrasses are flowering marine plants that grow in shallow coastal waters, forming underwater meadows. Seagrasses grow in salty and brackish waters around the world, typically along gently sloping, protected coastlines. Because they depend on light for photosynthesis, they are most commonly found in shallow depths where light levels are high. Seagrass belongs to kingdom Plantae. This is the scientific hierarchy of seagrass. Now let's see how do they grow. These modest meadows of long green leaves and buried root structures known as rhizomes rely on light for photosynthesis, just like regular land plants. Because of this, they are commonly found growing in shallow, salty waters where they can see the sun and are concentrated around most island coastlines and the tropical waters of the Indian and Pacific Ocean. They are often confused with seaweeds but are actually more closely related to flowering plants that we see on land. Now let's see what are the differences between algae and seagrasses. This picture shows basic structure of algae and seagrass. Now let's discuss what are the differences between algae and seagrasses. When we talk about seaweeds are algae. They have no flowers, no roots, no veins. They just attach to rock or sand. But when we talk about seagrasses are flowering plants related to grasses, lilies, and palms. They have leaves, roots, veins, and produce flowers and seeds. And they absorb nutrition through their roots, which extend into the sediment. And let's see where seagrasses are found. While most coastal regions are dominated by one or a few seagrass species, regions in the tropical waters of the Indian and Western Pacific Oceans have the highest seagrass diversity with as many as 14 species growing together. Many seagrass species live in depths of 3 to 9 feet, but the deepest growing seagrass has been found at depths of 190 feet, about 58 meters. And Antarctica is the only continent without seagrasses. And also seawater temperatures above 40 Celsius will stress tropical seagrasses, and also death occurs at temperatures above 43 Celsius. This map shows the areas seagrasses can be found. Shades of green indicate the number of species reported for a given area. The darker shades of green indicate more species are present. Reference also is here. Seagrasses can form extensive or patchy meadows that consist of just one or multiple species of seagrass in the Indian and Western Pacific tropical waters. For example, as many as 14 seagrass species can grow together. Now let's see growth and reproduction of seagrasses. Seagrasses grow both vertically and horizontally. Their blades reach upwards and their roots down and sideways to capture sunlight and nutrition from the water and sediment. They spread by two methods, sexual clonal growth and sexual reproduction. When we talk about sexual growth, they spread through underground stems called rhizomes. These send up new shoots. But when we talk about sexual reproduction, they produce flowers, and male flowers release pollen into the water, which travels to female flowers. Sometimes tiny sea creatures also help with pollination, like bees do on the land. Now let's identify seagrasses. These pictures show some species of seagrasses, and structures can be seen now. Seagrasses evolved around 100 million years ago, and today there are approximately 72 different seagrass species that belong to 6 major groups. These are the families and their features. In here, now, I'm not going to deeply explain about families and their features, but in summary, this table shows what are the families and their features. Now let's dive into the Sri Lankan seagrass context. Mr. Udakisara and Mr. Dhanayaka in 2020 reported that 53 seagrass species can be found in Sri Lanka, including Hydrocarytaceae, Cymodesias, and Rupicasias. Now let's see what are the seagrass that can be found in Sri Lanka. Tape seagrass, Vicaris seagrass, Caribbean seagrass, spoongrass, Helophilia ovata, Helophilia major, Helophilia minor, Helophilia stipulaceae, Seagrass seagrass, and also it is called as turtle grass, and ribbon seagrass, serrated ribbon seagrass, narrow leaf seagrass, needle seagrass, and noodle seagrass, and finally dish grass, and also called as tassel pondweed. In Sri Lanka, where seagrasses are found? Seagrasses in Sri Lanka are distributed across various coastal estuarine and lagoon environments, mainly in 4 key coastal regions: northwest, northeast, southwest, and southeast. The distribution is influenced by factors such as substrate type, salinity, tidal fluctuations, and water quality. These maps shows the areas that seagrasses can be found in Sri Lanka. Now let's see why seagrass is important. First, food security. Seagrass meadows are important nourishes for young fish, providing them with food and protection from predators. Biodiversity protection. The provision of shelter, food, and nursery grounds are critical ecosystem services delivered by the seagrasses worldwide, as evidenced by the abundance of animals found in the meadows. Clean water provision. Seagrasses are known as the lungs of the sea. Seagrasses remove excess nutrition, produce antibacterial and antifungal materials, and alter the chemistry of water and sediment. Coastal protection. Seagrass leaves soften the force of waves by about 40%, while their networks of roots stems trap sediment on the seafloor. And next, blue carbon. Seagrasses are capable of capturing and storing a large amount of carbon from the atmosphere. And finally, sustains people and the economy. 2 of the most important things for humans, healthy food and healthy finances, can be helped by seagrass too. These are some products related to seagrasses: handicrafts, seagrass salads, beauty products. Now let's see what are the threats to seagrasses. Human-induced threats: coastal development, habitat destruction, and pollution, and overfishing, climate change, and rising sea levels, tourism and recreational activities. Natural threats: storms and extreme weather events, and disease and invasive species. Now let's see how to protect and restore the seagrass beds. There are attempts to rebuild and restore seagrass beds, often by planting seeds or seedling grown in aquaria or transplanting adult seagrasses from other healthy meadows. However, seagrass populations globally are still in trouble. Some simple steps everyone can take to help seagrasses and other marine habitats include: limit the amount of fertilizer and practice pesticides that you use. Don't dump anything hazardous down the drain. Be careful when boating by going slow and avoiding shallow areas, and support local conservation efforts. These are the references that I used. This is the acknowledgement. And finally, to wrap it up, seagrasses may look simple, but they are extremely important. However, seagrasses are under the threat due to the human activities such as pollution, overfishing, and coastal development. That's why we must protect and restore them. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my video, like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.